Hello, welcome to Cool Discussions. That's Barry and Chris.
Today we're just going to sit here and stare into the camera and not talk about anything. Today we're going to talk about millennials.
The young?
There's this video going around that's got, I think, over 500 million views or something crazy. Huge. I don't know. It's a lot of views. I saw it and I skipped over it a few times, and then I watched it one time, and it's this dude talking about
How to deal with a millennial.
how to deal with a millennial, because we've all run into that young person who is very hard to deal with.
Okay, hold on. Have you run into a young person that is difficult to deal with?
Not me personally. I
haven't either.
I've run into people in general who are hard to deal with.
Yeah, that's okay. Well, we're not in the hiring and firing business anymore.
No.
And honestly, because of the economy here, we don't. None of the businesses we work for hire people anymore.
Nope.
So it's not like we see any kind of turnover. So I don't see millennials, but everybody has a stereotype of what millennials are, and he deals with these stereotypes.
The stereotypes are that they're lazy, they're entitled,
narcissistic.
They want instant gratification.
That's
now. I watched this video. We'll post a link in the comments below so you can see what video we're talking about. And I kind of went, this sounds like all of society nowadays.
Yeah, the instant gratification is kind of like, because we have these devices, we have that instant, any kind of game is just like click, 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 done. And you get that little instant hit, and he brings it up, and what it's about is that little release of dopamine that you get.
It's like a drug,
yeah.
Because from the instant when you hear your phone go off from a text message, you're like, "Ooh, who is it?" And it's like, and it in the younger generation, it for some reason it really clicks with them. It resonates with them, and it's like, you can tell, like, the older generation. I think you and I are right on the cusp of millennial people. For me, anyways, in my eyes, I can understand where they're coming from, but I can also see where the older generation comes from, of the hard work, the work ethic, the, hey, I want instant gratification, I want this, and I can see both sides. I can see that. In this video, he in a sense he says that it's not millennials' fault for the way they are. It's failed parental strategies
because of the growing up of the generation nowadays,
and corporations not giving a flying fuck about you. And I agree more so with the second point than I do the first point. I think that the second point causes the first point, because corporations and society's drive for monetary gain makes it so both parents have to be working, makes it so so your kids aren't raised by parents. When you look at the 50s and stuff like that, you see, like, the older generation, people who are 50 plus now, 50, 55 plus, and their mentality of work ethic is because mom or dad, mainly dad, went out and was the breadwinner, brought home the bacon. And they were home with mom, and mom was raising them. Now it's mom and dad are gone, and you're being raised by Joe Blow down there at daycare or at the school. And it's like, honestly, these people don't care about your kids. Like, your kid is a dollar sign to them. In a day home or a daycare. You know what I mean? That's how I feel anyways. You know what I mean? And it's like, I think corporations don't care about you as a person.
Well, okay. He brings up these points. It's like, parents have raised them up to be like the helicopter parent.
You can be whatever you want.
You could be whatever you want.
I just wanting it.
Yeah, all you have to do is want it. If you want something, you get it, because that's what parents do. So there's that sense of instant gratification, earning grades that they don't deserve. So, the parent going to the teacher and saying, why is my kid failing? And instead of the parents listening and going, well, your kid's failing because he's not attending, he's not doing his work, he's not passing his test. The teacher just goes, I don't want to deal with the parent, give him an A. getting things they don't want, participation awards,
the trophy for the last place finisher. And
yeah, you get something even though you did bad
something for nothing.
Exactly. So when they go out into corporate America,
they realize,
they get a swift kick in the ass because their mommy can't get them a promotion. Their mommy can't do anything about their job. They have to learn to work.
They don't know how to work because they haven't been taught to work. And it's
okay. One of the things he did say was they know how to work, but they want to make an impact. And then he was telling a little story. It's like why do you want to leave already? And it's like the millennial was like, well, I'm not making an impact in my work. And the guy's like, well, you've been here for 8 months.
Yeah.
What do you really expect to be doing in only 8 months?
Yeah.
So, that sense of instant gratification, they think they should be going up the corporate ladder a lot faster. It's like, no, it takes years of work and dedication to be able to go up.
Yeah.
So they're not willing to put in that amount of time because they have that sense that it's supposed to be
give me now, give me now, and I don't know. I think that it's very tough to sit there. There's a lot of lack of accountability from people nowadays. It's always somebody else's fault. It's never, what did I do in a situation? How can I make it better? I've always been a strong believer when something goes wrong, you have to self-evaluate first.
Well, yeah, I do the same thing.
The younger generation they lack that ability. They always it's somebody else's fault.
Yeah, it's like, it was such and such. It's like, well, what did you do wrong? That's how I assume. It's like, something that was wrong. It's like, my boss is walking towards me. I'm like, okay, what did I do wrong this time? He's like, you didn't do anything. I'm like, okay,
but I think
what's wrong?
I think that when you watch this video and you see what he has to say, I don't think you can't just attribute that to the young generation anymore.
No.
I think it's everybody in society. When you talk about instant gratification, I think everybody wants instant gratification.
The sense of entitlement.
Everybody has a little bit of a sense of entitlement. Maybe more so in the millennials than other people, but everybody thinks that they deserve more than the person beside them.
Yeah.
Everybody thinks that, I worked hard to get where I am, so I've worked harder than the other person, even though they've known the person for a year, say, of their life. So I'm 35 years old. If I've known somebody for 1 year and they're 35 years old, I've only seen like a very fraction of their life. So I have no clue. They could have battled cancer and I have no idea. They could have, been an orphan. They could have.
Okay, battling cancer, does that give them a trump card?
Well, it doesn't give them a trump card, but like what I'm saying in like their life journey, like when you sit there and you look at yourself, we all sit here, we do it. You and I both do it. When you look at our video of Scooter Man, we go, how come we don't get free shit?
Yeah, no,
and that's us looking and going, we work harder than him, but even though we have no idea who he is, we just see this story, and it's like
for me, it was the complaint is like, he has a sob story, and he gets all this stuff. I have a sob story too. Where's my free stuff?
We all. But I think that a lot of like the older generation gets frustrated with the younger generation because the old generation has this mentality: just shut up and work hard, and I don't think that can apply anymore. I think that you have okay. What, Barry? What? You don't have to work hard. Yes, you still have to work hard. That's what I'm saying. Don't just get free handouts. I
still agree with the shut up and work hard
part. I think that today's world is a little bit different than back in the older generation's world, where yes, hard work is going to get you ahead. Hard work is going to, in the long run, is going to pan out. But I think it's a little bit. I think you have to be a little bit more. You have to have a little bit more compassion for people. Today's world is more geared towards a social aspect of life than it is to a... I think it is.
When we grew up, we had friends. We had...
Okay, a different kind of social aspect.
No, because the social aspect you're talking about is like, okay, Conan and Brian said it correctly. You have 500 Facebook friends. How many of them would you actually lend $50 to?
Yeah, one.
That's how many friends you actually have.
Yeah.
right? You know, it's one of those things of you have access to more people, but you don't have to work for anything. You know, he says something like this. The guy he's talking about, you know, they don't have to work at a relationship, right? All you have to do is swipe,
Yeah.
and then other swipe, and voila, next thing you know, you're hooking up.
Yeah.
That's not work. You don't have to go to a bar. You don't have to go through an awkward conversation. You don't have to spend money on a person to get your foot in the door, let alone you just go swipe.
Well,
that's not work.
That's the instant gratification. And
no, you're right, but it's that, you know, there's no socialness to that at all.
No, what I mean by that is that I think people put a more emphasis on the new social aspect of life compared to work. People want to be out doing stuff more than they want to be at work. You know what I mean? And it's like I think.
Whoa, no. I don't want to be at work. I
Well,
want to
neither
be
do I.
at,
I
at
would rather-
home doing
yeah.
other things.
Absolutely.
It's not like that's changed.
But no, absolutely. But I think that to get success out of this younger generation, I think we need to, because when the older generation worked 10, 12 hours a day, and it's like, well, I don't think that aspect of it works anymore. I think
Correct.
I think you can have the younger generation be more productive if you're like, hey, we just need you to focus for a couple hours, and then we'll give you half an hour or 15 minutes to do something. You know what I mean? And it's like, I know it's catering, and I get that. It sounds silly, but you have to find.
I think it is silly.
You have to find ways to make the person and the generation and the group of people the most productive. And just telling them to shut up and work isn't going to work with them.
No,
if you tell them to just shut up and work 12 hours a day and you'll be fine. No, that doesn't work.
The 12-hour day thing, I agree, is like, you know, you make it so one, you know, they're only working like 8 hours a day. They don't have to take work.
This is what I'm talking about. A lot of workplaces are like, don't have your cell phone on you. Okay, you know what's going to happen? Your fucking your millennial is going to go to the bathroom and talk on their cell phone and text people, look at their Facebook, look at their Instagram.
Take a half an hour shit.
And take a half-hour shit. If you go and you adapt your policy to go, hey, you know what? I don't care if you have your cell phones on you. If the work is getting done, I don't care. Okay. But if I find that you aren't getting the work done, that's when I have the problem. Okay. That's when we're going to have an issue. That's what I'm talking about.
I don't think that's pandering. I think that
it's not pandering. It's adapting. It's
having a sense of flexibility. It's like, okay, in an office space that would work, but what do you think in a restaurant?
I think
you really think a line cook should be pulling his phone out every now and then?
Not during rush times, but if it's like you know, we've worked in that industry.
Well, that's why.
So when we know when there's downtimes that, you know what, if everything's done, the place is clean, everything's stocked up, I'm okay if you're at the back door, fucking looking at your shit, talking, having just you know, looking at your shit, talking, doing whatever. I have no problems with that. But if I come back and you're on your phone and your fucking station's just a disaster, nothing's ready, I'm gonna be like, yo, what are you doing?
No.
I think
I'm
the older
generation in that aspect, I'm in agreement with that. It's like you allow flexibility for people to not be pushing hard all the time. I get that. But I don't think pandering to them, going, oh, I need 2 hours of work, and then you get a half an hour.
That was a bad example. That was a bad example. But like to like, you don't have to obviously set something in stone like that. But just to be a little bit more relaxed with them being on the social media. Like I hear some places on their computers, like, okay, you're blocking porn. I get it. You know what I mean? But, we blocked Facebook, and it's like, you know they're going to find a way to get on Facebook, right? You know they have a cell phone that they just take off your Wi-Fi network, and they're on their cellular network, and go on Facebook.
I work for, nobody can get onto the Wi-Fi.
Well, but you can still get on your phone.
No.
You know what I mean? Like, you're sitting there, you're trying to stop these kids from doing this, when you should be, maybe, instead of stopping them and being so harsh on them, maybe you should look and go, you know what, hey,
is work being done?
Is work being done? Is the work getting done? If your work isn't getting done, that's different. Then that's a performance issue. But if your work is getting done and you're on Facebook, Twitter, whatever on your social media, then what's the issue here?
I'm not in disagreement. It's one of those things that can happen. It just what I found about this video wasn't necessarily that it was about millennials, because you can apply all the situations to everybody. What I found really interesting was how he brought up in it about social media being a drug.
Yeah, it is a drug.
That's what I found is like, one of those things of, I've been told is like, okay, nobody can put their phones down. Everybody's doing this. Is like as soon as there's a break, it's like doing this.
When there's a silence, yeah, it's like
if you're not interacting with people,
if
and
you
it's
and
just
I
like,
are out for dinner,
yeah,
and I'm texting somebody else who's not there, I have an issue. Now, don't get me wrong. If I'm out for dinner with you and my wife texts me, I'm gonna fucking answer. I don't give a shit if you're offended. I don't give a shit. I don't care. You know what I mean? Because like that's priority right there. Because obviously she's texting me for a reason. So I'm just going to take 2 seconds. Blah, 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 blah. I'm not going to be offended if you do the same thing. You know what I mean? Like, so I don't have a lot of friends though, so my phone would just be like, this off the side.
One of those things of people are always saying is like, when you go to dinner with friends, he says, only one of us ever brings a phone in case we need a.
I call bullshit on that, but
I do too.
I call 100% bullshit.
But one of the things I've heard is like a game you can play when you go out for dinner.
Stack your phones. First one to grab it pays the
bill. Yeah, and it's just like, wow, I would totally win every single time because I
would probably win too.
Because even if my phone went, it'd be like me.
But I think at the same time though, I think we need to stop getting so butthurt about somebody picking up their phone and if you go to the washroom and I pick up my telephone because it's just you and I, who cares? Is that such a big deal? As long as when you come back, I put it back. I'm done.
Okay. If it's me and you going, and I step out, and you go on your phone,
if there's just two people, and you step out to go to the washroom, and I fill the void with my telephone for 3 minutes, who cares?
Yeah,
now if there's like 10 of us, and then one person goes to the bathroom, and everybody goes that, okay, that's a problem. You know what I mean? That's ridiculous.
I'm sorry. What does that say about your friend?
Yeah, like so we all have one friend who keeps this group together.
Yeah,
I don't know. I think that when this whole video, I thought it was a very interesting, but I
watched the video. It is good, but you can apply every
it's not
single
just
one of
millennials
those
here, people
to non-millennials. And I personally, the biggest thing I found out of it was how much of a drug social media is. And it's
it's a huge drug.
It's about bloody time somebody said that, because I've seen this drug evolve. Because up until 6 months ago, I never had a phone, and I wasn't part of this.
Still don't have Facebook.
I still don't
Twitter,
have Facebook.
anything like that. And I've thought it for a long. It is a drug. It is a drug. You feel the need to look at it. You know what I mean? And I'm bad for it. Like, I look at my phone a lot. I don't look at it as much as millennials would, but I look at my phone. I can go a whole 8 hours without.
Literally, when I get home, I put my phone, but I have to charge my phone when I get home. I put it, I charge it, and until I start watching TV, I don't touch it.
Yeah. Well, that's like me. When I get home from work, I put my phone off to the side and I do whatever, and I sit and fucking, it's like whatever. I don't like it. Doesn't it's not a huge deal to me. I'm like, if you want to be on your phone, all right. Well, I'm not gonna. If you show me that you want to be on your phone and we're out, okay, I probably won't go out with you again because it's like
you have better things to do.
Obviously, you don't want to be here.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. And it's like it's just a respect thing. So I don't know. I thought it was a very interesting video. Let us know what you think about it. Are you a millennial? Do you fall into the categories of being addicted to your cell phone? And the way that you figure this out is if you pick up your telephone first thing in the morning and check your social media before you say good morning to your significant other, you have a problem. And
he has some interesting points.
Yeah. So don't forget to like, comment, subscribe to this video. Wow. Sometimes I'm just out to lunch.
Subscribe to the channel that you are currently on.
That's
right. And watch more of our videos that we have pumped down in the past year. We've talked about many, many things.
That's right.
And we will see you next week.
Later.